Reverend Samuel Rodriguez, president of the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference, was there, and he joins us now. Sammy, welcome. Always good to see you. So this year's theme was, "What is of God always wins." Tell us about that and how that really speaks to the moment we're in right now.
Lo que Dios siempre gana. Thank you for having me. 468 pastors gathered from the U.S. primarily, but now even pastors from Latin America who are forming NHCLC Latam. A gathering focused on what? Life, religious liberty, biblical justice, which includes immigration reform, building a firewall against anti-Semitism, and building a mental health infrastructure to help pastors who are fighting depression, anxiety, and fear. So it was an incredible gathering.
Yeah. And what was kind of the reception? How were people receiving some of these conversations and messages?
Amazing, especially on mental health. You would think, that it's not a priority for, the evangelical community, but it is. Latino evangelicals, unfortunately, coming out of COVID, pastors and leaders have been confronted personally and within the confines of their family with great mental health issues. So we're providing resources that are biblically substantiated, Christ-centered, and scientifically proven to be effective in tackling these issues. On anti-Semitism, again, we're not drinking the Kool-Aid of coming against Israel. I know it's a very controversial subject right now in many areas of the social media world, but the Latino community is firmly behind Israel and building a firewall against anti-Semitism. And on immigration, that's the great question mark. This is a great pro-life, pro-religious liberty demographic that primarily voted for President Trump, 68 to 70% in the last election. But now there's great fear in the community when we see good, God-fearing people who have been here for 20, 25, 30 years suffering the angst of what's next. So we're trying to find solutions regarding immigration.
Yeah, on that front, as these ICE raids and as we see immigration becoming such a huge issue. I mean, it's been a big issue for a long time. But what are you hearing, Sammy, from some of these pastors on that front when you talk about, the mental health and church attendance and maybe people being afraid to actually go to church on Sundays?
Yeah, it's a conundrum. It really is. Again, this community is pro-life, as you well know, pro-religious liberty, pro-biblical justice. If you want to call that conservatism, we call it, biblically, biblical values. But they're having this angst. They actually shared that yesterday and said, look, we're the community that's going to just affirm our Judeo-Christian value system. But we're losing 25 and 30% of our Sunday attendance because people are living in fear. So is there a solution? And I think the solution is what President Trump stated when he was in California recently, when he said, we have to find a permanent solution for these good, God-fearing people. They are undocumented. They've been here for years. Their kids grew up in this country, born in this country. Let's find a solution for them while deporting the mucho mala hombres. But there is anxiety right now in the community.
Yeah. I'm wondering how you answer some of those questions when you're asked about, like, say, the administration's ICE raids and the criticism that it faces. I know you said you like what he's doing out in California, but how do you answer that question of seeing what's happening with the ICE raids? What do you say to people who are kind of trying to wrestle with that?
So I just answered today. I'm in Houston with 500 additional pastors. Tonight, about 3,000 will gather. And I answered that question today. It was brought up. And I said, listen, let me give you the inside baseball here. Approximately 3,000 deportations per day. That's the goal of the Department of Homeland Security. Let's say they hit 2,500 deportations of criminals, people that have been engaged in nefarious activities, the rapists, the pedophiles, the gangbangers, the cartels, etc. And then you're reaching the end of the day. It sounds technical, but here it is. There's still 500 to be deported. And that's where these people who have been here 10, 15, 20 years, who have they don't even have ticket, parking violations, they get picked up. I'm trying to push back on that. I am. I'm trying to push back with the administration and with members of Congress, working with Maria Salazar on the Dignity Act and saying, listen, that's not what was promised. What was promised is we're going to focus on the bad guys, get rid of the bad guys, and then we're going to focus on a solution. Please don't touch the good, God-fearing, hardworking people. That's my advocacy and the advocacy of the NHCLC. But it puts me in a difficult position. It does. I can't deny it. It creates a little bit of acid reflux.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Well, Sammy, we appreciate all that you do, and you're a great bridge maker, so we appreciate that, and a great pastor. Reverend Samuel Rodriguez, thank you so much. Great to see you.